On May 20th, 2013, many of us watched as the city of Moore was devastated by a tornado that ripped across the city. In that devastation, a lot of time and effort has gone back to rebuilding the city. And we are here at Little River Park, which is one of the city parks here in Moore. And joining me is Todd Jensen, the Assistant City Manager. And Todd, can you tell us about what that tornado did to the city and how you've come through that?
Yeah, May 20, 2013 is a date that everybody remembers. You don't forget something like that, but it was a typical May day. We have those 1 or 2 days in May each year that are, the weathermen say that you watch out and all that. And so that was one of those days, and you think it's never going to hit you, but it did that day, and it was devastating to us. It was devastating to the community. It impacted really everyone. Mm-hmm. The schools, and we're very familiar with that, unfortunately. The park system, the school administration building, the post office, the hospital, all those things that we use on a daily basis, it impacted. And so, as we were talking earlier, you think, how are we going to recover from this? How do you clean up after this? How do you get back to a sense of normalcy? And the way that I describe it is you just do it one day at a time. One step at a time, and then you look back 3, 4, 5 months back, and you think we've recovered. We've done all the things that we needed to do, and then you look forward to the future and how you get better and stronger and all that.
And we're here at the Little River Park, which took a direct hit. We're near the Warren Theater and some of the other places that were immediately impacted from that tornado. Can you tell us why this park was so important to revitalize and bring back?
Well, it was ground zero. I mean, where we're standing right now is where the tornado went through. And so I think in a sense, this park symbolizes the resiliency of Moore, the recovery, and not just recovering and going back to where we were, but being better than we were and stronger and more improved. And I think with the things that we've been able to do with our partners here at Little River, we're well on our way in doing that. So it's really a symbol for the community.
And as we know, as Oklahomans, when we face adversity, out of that adversity, a lot of times comes opportunity. And this park is becoming even better than what it was. Can you tell us a little bit about the changes to the park? Yes.
Well, the tornado, we looked at it as an opportunity. And as you said, and so what we've been able to do, we've done some long-range strategic planning, and we've talked to the community and the neighborhood, and City Council adopted a master plan that really laid out the future for Little River. And so we're very early on in that work, and with our partners, the donations and all the funds that we've been able to get through this process, we think that we've developed a park, or in the process of developing a park that the community will be proud of. And one of the things that we're doing right now is we're building what we think is the largest splash pad in Oklahoma. It's huge and it's going to be magnificent. Right next to it, we're building a new playground. This fall, we're going to be in this area here where we're at right now. We're going to start extending the walking trail. The trail system will be 1 mile to 1.5 miles long through here. It'll be a concrete trail. It'll be much better than it was before. Landscaping. New tree plantings. We lost thousands of trees here, so we want to go back with as many of those as we can. And so we think that when it's done here in a couple of years, it's going to be unlike any park, certainly in this area in Oklahoma as well.
And you guys intentionally have done this in phases,
yes.
So people can already start enjoying what is built as you're continuing the other phases of the project. Why was that intentional?
Well, we wanted to, after the park was cleaned up, we wanted to get some park amenities here for the neighborhood and the community to enjoy. And that's what you see behind us here. That's the first phase. The second phase was really the planning phase for the longer term things. And so we went through the planning phase, and now we're in that longer term building process. We're in the early phase of that. So as I mentioned, 2 years from now, it will be a completely new park with amenities that we could only have dreamed of several years ago.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing with us.
You bet. My pleasure.
In order to bring a community back from devastation, it takes a lot of partners. And one of those partners here is the Oklahoma City Community Foundation. And you guys are helping to heal the scars. Can you tell me about the details that you're involved with here at Little River?
course, after the tornado and more, the Community Foundation did a lot of things with respect to the recovery, and of course the recovery of the community and how its people work in the community is a really important part of it. So we have done a lot of work in parks across all of Oklahoma City, and it really seemed like a really important thing to do, to come down here and help build this park back, because it was so important to the people to have a place and for normality to come back. So we decided to make not only a financial commitment to help restore the trees, but to bring in the expertise on our staff to really help them think through what's the best way to utilize this park and really bring it back and do it in a way that involved lots of other partners in the community. So we were very committed to that, because it really is part of the recovery from the tornado, not just the physical recovery, but the spiritual recovery of the whole community, to have things back as normal as possible.
Absolutely. This is where people of all ages come and enjoy life again. And so you've got new playgrounds and new splash pads that are coming out here. But there's a lot of work that goes into building that infrastructure, and this park is actually going to be even better now that it's being rebuilt. There's opportunity that has come out of this devastation. Right,
and we have at the Community Foundation, one of the things that we've been able to do with people is not only provide funding, but also provide some expertise in helping them do that planning. And so we were able to bring to them some of that expertise from a lot of the other park opportunities that we've done in the community.
And some of that expertise is Brian, who's a landscape architect. That's handy to have on staff.
It was a great opportunity for us to be able to work. We had worked some with all the communities around Oklahoma City, but every time you have a devastation like this, it's a little different, and you have to look back about how you're going to put the pieces back together and where can we make improvements. Today, stormwater is such a big part. How are you going to maintain and sustainability of it? So the idea is, can we do this even better? Walkability is huge about community health. So how the walking trails would be done at the park.
And you guys have worked with several different groups in the community to help fund some of this improvement. How specifically have you made sure that those dollars are being used wisely? You were mentioning some of the different details with the sidewalks and things like that, and the tree planting.
I just think, part of it is Moore had some really good infrastructure thoughts. It's like where the sidewalks go, they have it all identified where tractors and trucks cross, and those are thickened slabs. So, you don't have cracked sidewalks as often. There was a lot of strategic master planning, where the restrooms would go, where the water fountains would go, where watering hydrants would be for trees. So there was just a lot of that, where trash cans would be located. How do you activate this park in the safest and most effective and most sustainable method?
And that wasn't just all on the city deciding that. I think
we all sat around a table. I remember up at City Hall just sitting around a table and saying, okay, and we did some placeholders. We said, if an opportunity for another playground were to come, if an opportunity for another pavilion was to come, where would be those natural places? So sometimes it was a placeholder.
Well, and actually that was how some of the partners then came in, because they came to us and said, what can we do? Well, because there was this plan, we were able to say to, for example, the St. Louis Cardinals, that had collected some significant support, hey, this is a great place for you to do a playground that is exactly what you wanted to do. So it was really an opportunity for us then to begin to work with donors who wanted to do something in Moore, and it gave us just kind of a blueprint to be able to work with those donors. So that's a lot of what we do at the Community Foundation, is a matter of empowering people, hopefully with good advice and good plans.
That's excellent, and that just shows the reach of the impact of what's going on here. Now, obviously, we've talked a lot about the infrastructure, but you guys have been busy planting a few trees out here as well.
There's a lot of trees that have been planted. There's a lot more that will be planted as it goes on. Some of it we have to wait for some of the stormwater detention area and all, but there is. And when you look at it, this isn't the only park in Moore. This isn't the only recovery area. So there's a lot going on. So it's always trying to balance what's that capacity of the group to be able to take care of them. And we know that you look at the temperatures we had this past winter and how cold it got. We got snapped on some of those crepe myrtle varieties. Other ones we came out better on. But it will all come. It's, there's no perfect plant, there's no perfect thing, but it's always trying to think ahead and doing the best job you can.
And of course, we didn't put back the trees that wiped out, because they were long-time trees and kind of in the creek bed and really more of a forest. So we kind of created trees that were more compatible with what the park would really be used for. So maybe it was an improvement over that.
And where the people might want to congregate around them also.
Yeah.
Well, it's great what you're doing here, and obviously the Oklahoma City Community Foundation is really helping piece the park back together again.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oklahoma Gardening would like to thank the Oklahoma City Community Foundation for the work that it does throughout Oklahoma and its support of our program. Since 1969, the Oklahoma City Community Foundation has worked with donors to create charitable funds and bring together and empower partnerships that benefit our community, both now and into the future. For more information about programs and opportunities for giving, visit the Foundation's website, occf.org. The Oklahoma City Community Foundation, helping you help the community. We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.